What do you think of that? One second. What about this one?
Wow.
You're Purp back with another episode of the Purp Show. This is season 5, episode 7. Welcome in, welcome in. For all that are checking out the live, make sure you hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? You catching the replay right now, make sure you hit that like button as well. And if you're brand new and this is the first time you're checking out a stream, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my next live stream and all the other content that I'm going to be dropping on the channel in the near future. Okay. Yo, what up, Rashad?
It was good, fam.
What up, what up?
Shit, getting ready for this damn storm.
It's supposed to be bad?
Well, where I'm at, I think we're just gonna get the tropical storm of it. So, like, on the coast, they're gonna get like the hurricane, and we're just gonna get like a lot of rain and probably like winds up to like 20 to like 35 miles per hour. So, and I mean, it's still enough to knock the power out, but nothing like, you know, not hurricane strength.
Right.
Yeah,
That's why I was like, I like being in Jersey. We gotta worry about none of that. We got bipolar weather, but we don't gotta worry about like crazy ass hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes. Shit like
dog,
that.
it's
the worst
crazy.
we get is snow.
Man, the last hurricane that we got, my whole parking lot got flooded, man. And I found out there was actually fish in that motherfucker because my neighbor with her country ass went out there and caught a fucking fish with her bare hands in the parking lot.
Only in Florida.
Only in Florida, man.
That's so crazy. Yeah, I know he was talking about that Vince documentary. I'm 2 episodes in. I'm like, they just were talking about the steroid thing and stuff like that.
I remember when that happened too. Yeah, I remember when that happened. Yeah,
that's a fascinating. Like the first episode was pretty fascinating. It seemed like episode 2 is like at least the first half is a lot focused on Hogan and how much he was a rat and stuff. Like telling on people, like, yeah.
Hey, but you know what? Hogan started coming clean about it because before people used to criticize him about his infinite lies, and I guess he's been hearing the criticism, so he came out honestly. Was like, "Yeah, I ratted on him. Yeah, I told." You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, because he said, "Yo, you know, we're independent contractors, and of course, I'm the golden goose, so I'm getting paid like crazy money. If we unionize this, we're all gonna get paid the same. Fuck that." So
he told Vince, he's like, "Yo, you trying to?"
Shit.
Nah, because it's like I know you've never seen this one cartoon Recess and whatnot. They had this one kid Randall. He's like the snitch. He's like the teacher's pet. So anytime like the main characters would do something, he'd go. You know what I'm saying? He'd be the first one to go tell the principal and shit.
Yeah, I never see the but yeah, listen, people hate on Hogan, and look, I said this in my video too. I was a Hulkamaniac growing up. All right, so I was part of the whole say your prayers, take your vitamins. I had the toys, everything. So, sometimes you gotta separate the work from the person. So Terry Bollea probably is a bad person, but listen, I'm not gonna fake the funk. I was a big Hulk Hogan fan. You know, and every time I see Hulk Hogan, especially in this documentary, man, like that shit, nostalgia, man. Like I'm a kid again, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So fuck all that.
Yeah, I feel you. So tonight, we got quite a few things I wanted to kind of just talk about. October, Purptober is just right around the corner. It's next week. I will have a Perp show stream for that towards the end of the month, but the Hard Never Dies podcast season 2 will pretty much conclude in October. So we still got a few episodes that's been going really well. I'm really liking the numbers, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate the support on that. You know what I'm saying? And still got quite a few movies to get to. I'm almost at my like 100th movie. You know what I'm saying, for the year. I'm watching Wild Robot tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna have
That
a
was
review
dope.
on that. I'm gonna try to see Megalopolis as well tomorrow. We'll see how
That's
it
like
goes.
that 3 hours long.
I see on the runtime, like I see in two different things. Like on the AMC shit, it says 2 hours and 18 minutes. So I don't know. And then I've seen it where it says 3 hours. So I don't know. But
Yeah,
I'm still down for it because it'll just be a double feature and they're both in IMAX. So, you know,
true.
and I would just want to see what the controversy is about it. But yeah, we're gonna I'll talk about that as well too in this episode. Um, got some trailers to kind of talk about. Just two, and then like some Terrifier 3 and here and there. But got a decent show tonight. So did you check out the Thunderbolts trailer?
Yes, I did.
How'd you feel about it?
I was impressed.
Oh yeah,
I was
you liked it?
impressed. Yeah, I dug it, man. Like, listen, well, I'm still like the Taskmaster thing. I'm still on the fence about that. Like, I wasn't a big fan of that character in the Black Widow movie, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy to see. I'm happy to see Bucky back. I'm a big Florence Pugh fan. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
the Red Guardian. So yeah, no, I'm hyped, man. I'm ready to check it out.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. I just like, damn, like a 3.5 minute trailer is kind of egregious.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold you. And it's like the first trailer that you kind of put out, it's kind of odd. And I kind of wonder what the move was about that instead of just saving this for like a Super Bowl, because I feel like that's where you would want to show that at. I don't know.
I don't know. I think they're just trying to, because they know that right now people are really feeling the MCU, and with the success of Deadpool, Wolverine, they want to keep that momentum going. You know what I mean? So I think that they're
Yeah, I
just trying to
see.
they're just trying to keep MCU fresh in people's minds because, they just been, people ain't really been feeling it lately.
Yeah, because a lot of people are kind of mixed with Agatha. Some people kind of like were surprised by it. Some people say it's actually pretty good, or they just like it's okay. It's not as bad as people are saying it is, and stuff like that. It's like if it's only 4 episodes, they should have just put out all the episodes.
It's only 4 episodes. That's it.
I think so. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I think that's all it's gonna have is 4 episodes.
I ain't watching that shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't even really bother. Like, even though I did see a scene on TikTok where she's butt ass naked, and I was just like, "Whoa, that's interesting." For you know what I'm saying. But other than that, you know what I'm saying. Not really checking for it. But
Nah.
this has that Suicide Squad Expendables type of vibe to it. Um, Now I think this could surprise some people, or I think it's just it might be mixed, but like I said, it's a decent trailer, a tad bit too long.
Right.
Because right when they cut it, like you could have just like had like a little 2 minute teaser, or just not even 2 minutes, but you could have had it stop right when they say, "Oh, who are you? I'm Bob," blah blah blah, and just Thunderbolts, and you know what I'm saying. But I get it; they want to explain what's going on for people that are not caught up with everything. So
Yeah, because
who knows?
it's not the Avengers, so they have to really sell people on this because
Yeah.
Black Widow wasn't a big success, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, say people kind of forgot about that show, so they had to remind us like, hey, this is actually kind of cool, man. So check it out.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna have really good action. I think it's gonna have like decent action sequences.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think it's gonna suffer is just the story, and that just seems like kind of like the theme for Marvel right now. It's
Yeah.
like we're gonna give you these like awesome spectacles and stuff, but the story kind of isn't really going to be there. This is just more so for the spectacle, and I think it's going to be like kind of not the opposite for Brave New World. I think
Mm-hmm.
Brave New World has a more interesting kind of story going for it than the Thunderbolts, because the Thunderbolts you can kind of make up in your head, okay, some of these characters aren't going to make it, or the
Right.
asterisk means that like this is going to lead into something else with these characters. Might get Dark Avengers or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of interesting things. I'm just curious to see where this goes because like you said, I like Florence Pugh, even though I'm not the biggest fan of her accent because I feel like it's a little too strong and it's a little too
Yeah.
monotone.
Yeah.
But
But it's Florence Pugh. I'll give her a pass. Fuck it.
true, yeah, no doubt. Task like and the costumes, I'm not too over the moon. Like everybody kind of has the same kind of color
Mhm.
palette going on.
Right.
And like I saw that on Twitter, whatever. Like they had like a comparison of their old to their new ones. Just like their old ones were all bright and had at least color to them. They stood out, and then they got all these like flat, like just almost soulless type of colors, just bland. So
Well, who do you predict's going to be the standout character?
um, it could be John Walker. I think it could be John Walker.
Mm.
Either
Yeah.
John Walker and Bucky are gonna have a moment. They're gonna have
Oh
a
yeah.
crazy action sequence where they're teaming
Oh
up or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Red Guardian too, man. I thought his character was underused in Black Widow because he was like the brute, but yet comic relief at the same time. He's like that drunk
Yeah.
dad. He's like that
Hmm.
drunk dad who could fuck you up, but he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think he might be a wild card fan favorite.
And the dude that's playing Sentry, I think he could be a standout as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or it
That's
could
right.
be
Yeah, I
another
forgot Sentry's gonna be in this. Yeah.
it could be another Adam Warlock situation where he's kind of a joke. Hopefully not,
I
because he's
hope
supposed to
not.
be
I
really
hope not.
strong and stuff like that.
Dude,
So
Sentry and the Hulk fought to a standstill. Like if you ever read the World War Hulk graphic novel, like they fought to like a stalemate. That's how strong he is. So yeah, hopefully
yeah, but this
they'll make a joke out of him.
yeah, I don't see him fighting this version of the Hulk. we got to still get that shit right, situated and stuff to get
Facts.
him right
Facts.
for real.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I could definitely see them having like a Thor, Iron Man, Cap kind of banter between John
Hmm.
Walker, Bucky, and Lexi. That's his name, right? Lexi
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah. And then the girls obviously will have their kind of rivalry or just have an action scene with one another. I think it's gonna be solid. You're
Yeah.
definitely gonna have the people that are just gonna go in there to hate watch. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna predict that it's gonna have really good action. It's just gonna kind of lack story. You know.
Right.
Next one, you saw the Sinners trailer, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I did.
Yeah, on me. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I like the tone. I like the idea. I'm just not so like over the moon about it being in Jim Crow era. I just feel like that's just kind of played out at this
Hmm.
point. Um, it could be. I'm just gonna keep going in with an open mind and just keep my expectations low, just because it's a vampire movie at the end of the day, and not all vampire content has been like knocking it out of the park. It's very hit or miss.
Yeah,
So
it looks very fascinating. Only thing that threw me off, bro, was Michael B's Southern accent. You know,
Yeah, that's definitely what kind of threw me off because it's like
yeah,
it's not really good. It's really not good. Like, but
nah,
maybe it's better like in certain scenes and stuff like that. But it's just I don't know. That was a weird choice, honestly.
yeah. Because we've been watching Michael B forever, and you know, he's the guy that always says, "Yeah, I'm good, I'm good. Hey, yeah, I'm good, I'm good, I'm
Hmm.
good. We good? You good? I'm good." Yo, somebody should make a compilation. Somebody should make a compilation video of all the times Michael B says "good" in his movies, right?
Yeah, that's hilarious. But I guess he wanted to kind of like separate himself from past work and stuff, like and just
Right,
be like
right.
Michael B. Jordan, just playing Michael B. Jordan as a vampire hunter. And
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were like saying like they got uh they got ahead of the game before Marvel and whatnot. I just call this Jim Crow Blade, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So
You know
this is
what?
Jim Crow
Hey,
Blade.
that would have been an interesting choice for a title if they went with that, right?
Yeah, everybody, you know what I'm saying? We like that black exploitation type shit. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
But
But no, I have faith in it, man, because I really like Ryan Coogler as a director. You know what I mean? Even though I wasn't a
yeah,
fan of Wakanda Forever, but you know, if you look past that, you know, his work is really solid.
yeah, that's how I'm at. Cause like like you're only as good as your like going off like what the person has done recently, and Wakanda Forever just kind of left a sour taste in a lot of
Hmm.
people's mouths and stuff. No Diddy, but
Right.
um, but yeah, that's kind of like I feel like that's not going to be very much make or break for Ryan Coogler, but that will just be telling like what kind of direction he's going to go with like with his films, or is this going to be like where he's having kind of his downfall, or not downfall, I don't want to say it like that, but where he's not going to be making as the greatest, just not making the best films.
Right.
He's going to be on that type of time, but hopefully it does end up being like a surprise. I just wonder what he's going to do differently in this to kind of separate himself from a Blade or like
Hmm.
even a Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. Well, you know what's interesting too, bro? I was having a conversation with my brother earlier, and he brought up a good point. He was saying that he's like, you know, there's a trend going on lately where these like A-list, you know, these established actors are now choosing more horror roles. And he gave
Right.
me some examples. He was like, you know, Demi Moore just did The Substance. You know, Nick Cage with
Incredibly
Long
good.
Legs. Halle
Yeah.
Berry just did one. You know what I'm saying? Now Michael B with Sinners. And I said, only thing I told him, I was like, well, look, I guess because horror is like the thing now, you know, like if you think
Yep.
about it, there's really no action movies being made unless it's comic book stuff. And, you know, comedy's kind of a dying art form now in cinema. Right now, you
It's
know, horror is like the go-to, you know what I mean?
yeah, it's hard. It's horror and sci-fi are booming right now. I feel like
Right, right.
because
But
I
I,
feel like that's why it is because it's like you're able to be a little bit more creative in those spaces, like with
mhm,
sci-fi or horror and stuff, and you don't have to worry about the fan bases that kind of come along with that, with like joining a comic book franchise or wanting to join Star Wars, or you know what I'm saying. Some of these bigger
right.
IPs are joining DC, so
Yeah, but and you know that just goes to show how far horror has come because you know like rewind 20 years ago, like you know a respected actor wouldn't be caught dead in a horror movie, you know, and now
hmm
now it's normal. You know what I'm saying? Now like these like so-called thespian actors are choosing these roles like they want to be in these horror movies now. So that
yeah,
just goes to
and
show the
all
growth of the genre.
and it's only a matter of time for like the academies and stuff like that acknowledge that
Hmm.
and start to kind of give it a little bit more respect, because I definitely think that there are a lot of horror movies that come out that deserve that at least award recognition. It doesn't need to win every fucking year, but at least just
Acknowledge
acknowledge
it.
the people. Yeah, acknowledge the people that are doing these roles. Like Tony Collette, like should have definitely got one for Hereditary, or at
Hmm.
least got a nod for Hereditary.
Right, right. Yeah, man. Like Roman Reigns says, but acknowledge me. Shit.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. March 7th. I don't know what else is going to come out, but like you know, speaking about like vampire movies, like I'm excited for Nosferatu. and just what Robert Eggers is gonna bring to the table as far as his take on just vampires. So even though it is oversaturated, if you could do it in a unique way, like something like Midnight Mass, I think that still is like one of the best like vampire like stories we got in a very long time. Some people like Interview with a Vampire. I haven't checked it out, but I hear good things about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it
So,
either.
so yeah, we have to just wait and see, I guess. Wait and
Yeah,
see.
yeah. I
That's
mean,
all.
a black vampire movie. We don't get a lot of those, man. I think in the '90s we
Yeah.
got two black vampire movies. Two, Death by Temptation. No, three. Death by Temptation, Blade, and Vampire in Brooklyn.
Mm,
That's it.
yeah.
So they're few and far
Bones.
between.
Bones.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wish the time period was different. I think you could have done like an alternate Earth or something like that, or even like would have been cool as like a medieval, like a black medieval fucking vampire movie or some shit like that. Like that'd have been fucking cool. Something just a different location or something like that, or just in the future. I'm just sick of the setting.
Well,
That's just all. That's just
if I'm a gambler, man, if this takes place in the Jim Crow South and Ryan Coogler's directing it, and haven't seen a movie like Fruitvale Station, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some white people getting fucked up in there by some black vampires.
yeah,
Also
yeah, for sure, for sure.
On some Django type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I liked about Lovecraft is because, like, it mixed a lot of different kind of horror genres and just different genres in general with that
Right.
series. Like each episode felt like a different type of genre or different types of take on something like body horror. There's a little sci-fi there, action adventure. It just had a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
So
dog. Lovecraft was out there. It really was, but it was very intriguing though, man. Like I enjoyed the show, and for whatever reason,
creative.
they just gave it to Axe.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of people will make this comparison for this too. Like it has that like Lovecraft aesthetic to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to wait and see. Next,
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about Terrifier 3 because that's
Yes,
coming out
sir.
in coming up in a couple weeks. In about a week. Not about
Got
a
my
week, but
tickets.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah, I got my tickets ready. Me and my daughter going opening day.
Yeah, I'm looking really forward to it. But I want to ask the question: is it going to be a huge hit? And I will say, I think it is going to be a big hit. Whether they do what they did last year, where like it seemed like they kind of added more theaters and like waves and stuff like that. Because right now it's just got a couple show times,
Yeah.
but that might just because there's still a lot of movies playing and stuff like that, so they got to
Right.
rotate some things out, and they might update it later. But it's just crazy. It's getting popcorn bucket treatment. It's getting. I didn't expect art to pop up in Call of Duty of all the games. I would expect it to pop up in like Mortal Kombat before Call of
Yeah.
Duty, but that's huge. So that's gonna be like millions of people that are just gonna be exposed to that character. And Sam from Trick or Treat's in there, so that's gonna be great. And he only
Okay.
has one movie. Like that's pretty crazy.
Cool. Cool.
How much do you think it's gonna make by the end of its run? If
By the end of this
Terrifier 2
run,
if Terrifier 2 made 15 minutes, how much do you think this?
I'll probably say probably about 30, probably 30. I say
Yeah,
about 30,
that's what I'm
about
saying.
30. Yeah, about 30 to 50, maybe.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. If it's just doubles, that's gonna be good for
Yeah.
like 30, 40. I don't think it needs to do nothing crazy. Like I don't see it hitting. That'd be crazy if it hit 100 mil or some shit like that. But
But at the same
that's
time,
wishful thinking.
but I wouldn't be surprised either because you got to think. Okay, before I saw Terrifier 2, I didn't know Terrifier even existed until like a month before 2 came out because my boy Mike from Did You See That put me on because he wanted to do a collab. And he's like, yo, check out this movie Terrifier. And that was my first time watching it, and I loved it. And just so happened 2 comes out a month or so later. You know what I'm saying? So I think when 2 came out, still a lot of people didn't know about this. So now that 2 was such a big success, I'd like if it hits 100, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think realistically, it'll probably fall between 30 to 50.
Yeah, I think that's the realistic numbers. You know,
Yeah.
even 25 would be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, like you said, like it's just people just kind of are starting to catch on, and they already confirmed that there's going to be a Terrifier 4. So Terrifier
Right.
4 could be that one that just really breaks the ceiling and stuff and whatnot, depending on how 3 goes. And the people that went to go see it in Fantastic Fest, lucky motherfuckers, got to go see it early. I've heard
Yeah.
nothing but positive things about it. So, you know, but I'll so by going by my own expectations, I'm not just gonna go off of just everybody else. But you know what I'm saying.
Right.
But that's just a good sign. So
Yeah, I mean, you know, as long as he follows, you know, what he did in the second movie, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't lose.
yeah, and I'm really curious to see what Sienna does this time around, and what Laura brings to the character even more. What's because
Mm-hmm.
that's honestly really the standout of 2. You know what I'm saying? Like she's
Yeah.
definitely the more underrated. Like Art kind of takes some of the shine, but like Sienna definitely like showed out, you know, in that movie
Oh yeah,
and
just one
solidified
movie,
herself.
man. She proved to be a worthy final girl, man. You know, so she, you know, I mean, if she can really do a thing in this one, you know, you got to put her up there with Laurie Strode and Nancy Thompson, and
Hmm.
who's another final girl that belongs up there? Sydney, you know,
Yep.
Sydney Prescott. So yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Like I said, definitely gonna have a live discussion on the Hard Never Dies pod about that once it comes out.
mm-hmm.
Looking forward to that. I got a video that I'm working on that's gonna be talking about the 3 movies, similar to what I did with the X trilogy and what it's like what makes the X trilogy great. I'm gonna do like what makes the Terrifier movies great because I always I kind of like doing those. So be on the lookout for
Yeah.
those videos. You know what I'm saying? And that stream. Just wanted to kind of talk about that for a little bit. But moving
Mm-hmm.
on, here are some of September's best. Some of the best things that I watched this month: The Penguin, Substance, Transformers One, and I will say also, I got to see the first 3 episodes of Dan to Dan. I'd put that up there as well. That comes out on Netflix, Crunchyroll. I don't know if it's gonna be on High Dive, but I think it's gonna be on Hulu too. So they're expecting that to be a pretty big hit, like the next big anime for sure. At least one of them. Bleach also comes back next week as well. But that aside, just wanted to kind of focus on these 3. The Penguin just had their first episode last week. Last Thursday?
Yeah.
Incredible premiere. It just felt like classic HBO mob shit. Like it kind of gives you. It's not exactly Sopranos, but like people are going to make that comparison because they
Really?
found out, because they found out, Gotham is in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? In
Ah,
this universe, but that is canon to the
yeah,
comics and stuff. That like
Sopranos. Yeah.
that's so. So yeah, it like Penguin was really good. Colin Farrell, you're definitely gonna see him probably get a lot of Oscar attention next year for sure. Just based off this first episode, it sets the tone really well going forward. There's like about 7 more episodes left, but there's so much ground to cover and just so much story and just action in just this one episode that's just like it does what it needed to do, leave you wanting more pretty much. And you say you didn't get around to checking it out yet?
I haven't, bro. I mean, okay, so let me ask you, because okay, I know it's the Penguin, but it's a Batman villain, and I'm pretty sure if it's in Gotham and all this crime shit's going on, where's Batman this whole time? You know what I'm saying? So is he
Mhm.
missing? Is he missing from the show? Like, do
I
you watch
mean,
it be like, yeah, this is missing Batman?
they said that he's not going to pop up, but there's not going to be no telling that Bruce Wayne won't pop up.
Yeah.
I think Robert Pattinson could pop up at the last episode as Bruce Wayne, but they do it picks up a week after the Batman, and like how it opens, it just pretty much tells you what's happening in Gotham, like how the Riddler, how he flooded the lower end of Gotham, like the poor side of Gotham, and how there's this power vacuum, and that kind of pretty much sets up the Penguin right there to kind of take over. But there's something
Yeah.
that happens that the Penguin does that is gonna kind of be his obstacle. Now he has to kind of deal with Sophia Falcone and stuff like that, and you know what I'm saying? And and then you meet Salvatore Moroni and stuff. And,
Yeah.
you start to kind of get more into these different crime families and see how that's operating and stuff, while also understanding like what the Riddler did affected shit. And I like how they had this like QR code that you could scan within the series that kind of
Mhm.
gives you a little bit more extra information on what's going on in like Blackgate or just Arkham or something like that. Like it's a little text little thing, whatever. That was really cool. But yeah, it's a really I highly recommend checking it out. I think you're
Okay,
really
because it sounds like it's kind of gangster, and that's right up my alley. Especially when you say The Sopranos, that's my favorite show of all time. So, yeah, I guess I give it a watch because like I said, I'm like, okay, I've seen Gotham, of course the Batman, and now we have another show or movie about a Batman villain and no Batman. I'm like, I was kind of on the fence about it, but I'll check it out.
but it's great to see just Colin Farrell, because I'm like, yo, he's like what, Scottish, right?
Irish,
Irish, whatever the fuck.
yeah.
And I'm just like, and then he just turns into a Jersey motherfucker. Like that shit is crazy. It's just the makeup and stuff. I'm just like, his performance alone is just worth watching. And also like Sophia Falcone and stuff, like fantastic. And
Isn't it fun? Isn't it funny how most foreigners, like people from the UK and stuff like that, can like master American
right.
accents, but Americans can't master foreign accents?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely worth watching because I understand people's gripes with it. Like, but it's interesting, the approach. I think it's better. You could just tell that they understand what they're doing better than something like Disney Plus.
Mm,
Because how many Disney Plus like premieres have been kind of just really lackluster? This one really is like did a great job of establishing who's who and what's what,
right.
the conflict, and it's just so much packed into one episode, and just shows you how clever the Penguin is and what his strengths are, and how he's just playing like he's playing chess, not checkers type of, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it's violent, you know what I'm saying? It's very violent, which is refreshing, which you couldn't really do in the Batman because it's PG-13. So like, it's really dope that they have like these series that are going on Max that you can go push the
Right.
boundaries and stuff like that. So
Well, even
you know,
Gotham, Gotham. Well, at least Gotham started out being kind of serious, but then it kind of went to the ridiculous about after like season 2. That's when it started getting kind of camp, where you're like,
mhm,
okay, they say this ain't the dark gangster show that you guys sold it to be. You know what I mean? Because
right.
Gotham definitely had its moments. I don't know if you ever watched Gotham, but
A little bit. I didn't really get like too much into it, but I know like I like kind of like just the clips I've seen of the what's his name, Cameron something, whatever, that plays the Joker. Well, their version of the
right,
Joker. I kind of like that.
yeah, that's
That
when it
picture.
started getting. That's when it started getting more comic booky. I guess that's the term I'm looking for. It got real comic
Mhm.
booky, and then there was even this weird thing where the Riddler and Penguin had like a love affair going on, where they was like gay and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck are they doing, man?
Yeah, and then but yeah, the Penguin's great. Episode 2 comes out this weekend, so I would highly recommend checking it out. You know what I'm saying? So you can have like 2 episodes to watch back to back right there. So
Cool.
you know, and we'll have to see how that plays out and how it's going to, because pretty much the end of the series it's going to be winter time. So I
Hmm.
don't know who else they're going to tease. If we're going to get a little bit of tease of who the next villain's going to be, or you know what I'm saying, they're going to give us hints of that, but for most part it's just focusing on building out the Penguin character and stuff like that. So
Okay.
by the end of it, he'll be the Penguin that people know. And whatnot. So
Shit, I think so far the only Batman villain we have not seen yet on film is probably what, Clayface?
there's a bunch like Clayface, Mad Hatter.
Yeah, the Mad Hatter. Okay. Yep.
Um, I know people want to see Killer Croc for some odd reason, but
Well, Killer Croc was he was in the Suicide Squad, wasn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
But he's a Batman villain and stuff like that. I want to see Freeze. I've been said that. I was like, yo, that'd just be perfect since like all of Gotham, well, the poor side of Gotham's all fucked up. It'd be crazy if it just froze over and shit like that.
Right. Yeah.
Because
A
that's what
proper.
kind of like they kind of sell it as. It's just like they pretty much like kind of abandoned that side of like Gotham and stuff like that. Like it's really fucked up. Like they really just made it worse.
Yeah, bro. If we can get a proper Mr. Freeze, that'll be dope. Because I don't know if you ever seen the animated Batman Sub Zero, which
Yeah,
is like all about Mr. Freeze. That shit was like, I think that's one of the most underrated Batman animated stories, man. That shit was dope.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The substance. The substance was fire. I fuck with the substance. That's like right now, like my favorite horror movie. Like that
Mm.
became my favorite horror movie, like over Long Legs. But
It's definitely the
um,
craziest.
you seen it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the fucking most buck wild craziest shit.
When I saw Dennis Quaid, I was like, bro, he should have played Vince McMahon at some time or some shit like that instead of Ray Miller, because that's how he felt like to me. So like he's playing Vince McMahon or some shit like that. But man, Demi Moore, she killed it, and Margaret Quay, I know her from The Leftovers and stuff. They both
Mhm.
just killed that shit, and just the whole body horror shit, like that shit was nasty. Like the throwing up a titty, bro. Like that shit was.
I still don't want to see a titty for a long time, man.
A whole lot of
No
ass,
breast
whole lot of
assist for me
titties.
for a while. Yeah, I'm good.
But yeah,
I'm good.
the substance was dope. That was that was a good time. I'm so glad I got to check that out. Azrael was really good too. Since just seen that Monday, that was that was a solid watch. So I would recommend that. And the substance. Definitely support the substance. And now another movie that, man, just because of poor marketing, it fucking flopped for opening weekend.
Mm.
Transformers One. I fucking love this movie too. Like this was the best Transformers movie.
Listen, I'll never understand movie audiences, man, because when I saw that Beetlejuice beat Transformers at the box office, I'm like, how, Sway? How? You
Just that
know,
trailer, that first trailer killed people. Because that's how like anytime I had like a conversation with somebody, like that's like the big turn off for a lot of them was that first initial trailer. It's like it just didn't take itself serious or just wasn't
yeah.
marketed right. But when you watch it, it's just like, yo, that shit was brilliant.
Well, you know what? That's probably why they did damage control and had all those early screeners. Because at my AMC, they had two early screeners for that one. They had one on Saturday, which is the one I went to, and then they had
Mm.
another one. They had another one Wednesday.
Yeah,
They were
that's what
giving out
I
free
went to with the
posters and shit.
IMAX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess they were thinking that they knew the trailer wasn't selling it, so maybe good word of mouth, which I thought would be enough because that's what sold me on it. When I saw Q's review on it, that's the reason I went to go see it. So I figured word of mouth would have helped, but motherfuckers still want to see that lame ass Beetlejuice shit.
Yeah, I was like, I'll definitely and seeing it with my brother and stuff and whatnot, that was a dope. Because me and my brother haven't seen a movie or just hung out in a long time, so that was, and he really
Yeah.
liked it. He doesn't go to the movies often because he's always working and shit like that. So
Okay, so let me. I don't know if we had this conversation, bro. Because well, first of all, I'm grateful that my video is doing really good. Like I didn't expect my video to do those numbers for Transformers One. But the one thing I'm seeing in the comments, right? People are
mhm.
coming at me with razor blades and lemon juice, perp, talking about, man, how can you sit there and say it's better than the 86 Transformers, man? You on crack. Nothing beat 86 Transformers. I said, so what, you a fan of fucking Rodimus Prime? Are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying? Dog, I never fully fucked with Transformers the movie just because they killed Optimus Prime in the first 20 minutes. And then we had to get behind Hot Rod. You know, so like
Yeah.
okay, tell me if I'm tripping or not, man.
Now, like I haven't revisited the OG, like, you know what I'm saying, it's so fucking long. I had no real desire to, you
Yeah.
know. But that might
See?
change. That might change just to kind of see the comparisons. But like this one knocked it out of the park just because not only does it have good animation for a 3D film,
Mm-hmm.
it just goes to show you that we don't need humans in this
You
shit,
don't
bro.
need
Just
thank you. Thank you.
make it animated or do what you do with the live action, but just don't have humans.
Thank you. Thank you. Dog, no humans, no crude ass Michael Bay humor. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to kill off main characters because the whole thing with the 86 movie was to sell toys. You know, that they wanted to get rid of the first wave of toys. Now they want to sell a new wave of toys. That's why they killed off like all the main characters. So we have an origin story here. You have you know, the classic story of friends that turn foes and some dope ass fucking battles. You know what I mean? Like this
Yeah.
movie was everything that I want a Transformers movie to be. And like my 7-year-old self was like, damn, this is the movie I wish I would have got back when I was 7 years old. Not some shit that made me fucking cry. All right, I cried I cried when they killed Optimus Prime.
And he got well, I'm not gonna spoil it for people that haven't seen it yet, but yeah, it just, and I like Megatron in it, like Paperboy is Megatron because he was the
Right.
biggest like century Sentinel fucking Glazer. Like he was just doing too much dick
Yeah.
riding, bro. It's just that shit was hilarious and just, but just how he turns and what makes him, you know, go the path does go makes complete sense.
Yeah, yeah, and well, I heard some people too. Well, mostly, I was watching Double Toast's review, and Corey had a problem with Bumblebee. He said he didn't like Bumblebee's character, and I thought Bumblebee was a standout. You know, I mean, he's different from how he was in the original cartoon. I get it because he was more of Optimus Prime's like right hand, like he was a soldier straight up. And then of course in the Michael Bay movies he couldn't talk. And this one here he never stopped talking. But I think
Yeah,
that
that's
was
why I find it funny. That I
yeah,
find it funny that they kind of lean into that, like, you know, because in the Michael Bay, like they took away his vocal shits and stuff like that. So it's like, and now this way he just talks
he
and
never
talks and
shuts
talks,
up.
and it's fun. Yeah,
Well,
the whole
yeah, I thought
Badassatron shit was hilarious.
I thought that was part of the joke. You know what I'm saying? I got that because like yeah, he had no vocal cords in the other movie. So here you see why he doesn't talk now in the other movies. He talked too damn much in this one. You know,
Yeah, it's just
they
funny,
took his
and he
voice
has some
away.
cool. And he had a lot of cool action scenes and stuff too. And you know, I
Right.
can't wait to see more of it. And this does a great job of setting up like a possible trilogy of like I could see by the third movie we get like the War for Cybertron type shit. Like,
Well, I hope we do get. I hope it makes enough money where they do make a sequel, man. Hopefully they listen to the people that watched it and dug it, and you know continue it, man.
mhm.
Yeah.
So next, there's still, like I said, there's still a couple movies I want to check out this month. I might wait on the Rosemary's Baby. I might watch that, but put out the review
Mm-hmm.
later. Um, Rosemary's Baby, the prequel. Not a fan of Polanski and all that shit, even though
Right.
that has nothing to do with it. So it excites me more that his name, like nothing really is attached to, even though it it kind of is, but kind of isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll have to wait and see. You know, hearing kind of like interesting things about it. Looking forward to it. What about you?
Apartment 7A. Yeah, the trailer sold me. Yeah, I definitely want to see that. And
Okay.
I gotta watch Rosemary Babies first because I still haven't I've never watched it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Megalopolis. What's your thoughts on that?
Now correct me if I'm wrong. Coppola's been trying to make that movie like forever, right? Like
Yeah,
as long
something
as I
like
can
that. It's like a passion
remember.
project.
Yeah, as long as I can remember going back to the '90s, he's always wanted to make that movie. So yeah, I mean, look, I'm a fan of Coppola. I love the Godfather movies. You know, I like The Outsiders. So
Who's
I'm
making
not.
this?
Hmm?
What studio put this out? Who put out The Crow?
Shit, I have no idea.
I forget. I'm drawing a blank on it, but it seems like a lot of people are kind of trashing this movie or just saying it's like one of the worst. That's been kind of like the word on the street and stuff. But I,
But
I kind of want to
Megalopolis?
just see it from I kind of just want to see it for myself just to see what like the controversy is or if there's even any controversy in the first place. But
You
you
know
know,
what?
I'm down to go see this for sure.
Well, you know, it's crazy because Coppola hasn't had a real good movie in decades, man. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's bad. Because remember, he went from making movies like The Godfather and Rumblefish and Outsiders to making movies like Jack. Okay, so rest in peace, Robert Williams. So, yeah, his track record lately hasn't been really good. So, if it's trash, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, like I was seeing on Twitter that the opening weekend is tracking to make a between 5 to 7 million open weekend. I was like, whoa, and that shit has $120 million budget.
Whew.
That's
Yeah,
terrible.
he should have stayed stuck to making wine, man. His time
But
as a
I
filmmaker is gone.
I respect him. He's just like he doesn't really care about none of that shit. Like he just be like, yeah, I'll put my own money up, and if
Yeah,
it flops, I don't really care.
that's
This is
true.
the shit that I want to get out. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's how creators should be. Like you shouldn't be afraid to fail, or what I'm saying. Somebody's gonna like it.
Or be like George Lucas. George Lucas got in his films. He said, "Fuck y'all, man. Look, I make movies and y'all not even gonna see them." But George has his own personal collection of films that he's made that won't see the light of day.
Until he passes or something like that, it'll get leaked
Exactly.
there. Yeah, that'd be interesting. That's an interesting. Those are gonna be some interesting rare movies that would be worth some
Hmm.
money, especially if they want to buy it off of the state and something like that.
Right.
Um, but yeah, we got Wild Robot. I'm gonna see that tomorrow. I said this back a couple months ago that this has the potential to be the best animated film, but then
Hmm.
Lord of the Rings anime is coming out as well. So those two, for me, I think have the highest chances of being the best anime movies of the year.
I put it up that like I went to a press screening Monday to watch Wild Robot, and that movie had no business being that good, man.
It's all I've been hearing. Say that's all I've heard. And it's like it's like DreamWorks best.
It was like dog, like I don't know. I guess I'm just a sensitive ass nigga, man. Because the person I was sitting next to, my boy Rob from Big Rob Theory, I looked over at him and I said, "Yo, this shit about to make me cry." I said, "I'm about to
Yeah,
cry, man."
it's just something about it when I saw like just the poster before you got the trailer. I was like, "There's something like really special about this." I was like, "Yeah, it's something unique." And then when you see the trailer, I was like, "Oh, it kind of follows in that kind of Puss in Boot style that they've been kind of going with, like their own
Right.
kind of 2D 3D hybrid type of thing, and learning about all their different inspirations. Like they were inspired by I forget
Yeah,
exactly what
and
Studio Ghibli movie it was, but
yeah, it's one of those movies too where it's good for the whole family because some of with these animation movies sometimes it's like okay adults like it but it might be too dark for kids or vice versa. Okay, this is a real kiddie movie but adults might check out. I brought my son with me too to the press screening and he loved it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like both of us we just had like a really good time with it. It's the perfect runtime, so it's not like really drawn out and it's not
good
really
pacing.
that. Right. Good pacing, everything. Like just everything with the movie to me clicked. And it was heartfelt and it had a message too. It had a nice message in there where, I'm driving home. I had like a man in the mirror moment, like Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So I
That's
loved it,
dope.
man. It's one of my favorite animation joints this year for sure.
That's good to hear because you know what I'm saying. Like I said, like I've complained several times about like Pixar and Disney animation that it's
Hmm.
so bland now. It's just it doesn't really it kind of feel it just kind of feels soulless. Like they're doing all these different, you know what I'm saying, but
Right.
none of it feels unique. Like none of it feels groundbreaking. But then I watched the trailer for you know Wild Robot. it looks spectacular. They're doing a lot of interesting things animation wise in that
Right.
movie, just based off of that trailer.
Yeah,
And
no, a lot of heart. Yeah, definitely had a lot of heart, man. Dug it.
and the last movie I'm most likely going to see for the month is Joker 2. Got an early IMAX screening. My
Thanks.
theater's packed, so that's gonna be dope. Seeing that with a full crowd. I'm
I,
looking forward to that. You know, I know a lot of people are kind of mixed and not really rocking with it, or just thinking it's gonna be a whole musical. I'm just, I'm there for the ride. So
I was about to say, are you nervous about that one? Because I've been hearing this been getting really bad reviews.
nah, I'm just because I'm always gonna be optimistic about it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
I really like one. And this one, even if it has musical elements that seems interesting, it could be creative. And I don't know how everything's going to play out. So, that's kind of what's interesting about it. It doesn't look like, even though it's not trying to do like it's not trying to be like a traditional comic book movie.
Right.
It's more just like I want to say regular movie or to kind of downplay comic book movies, but it's going for something different
Mm-hmm.
is what I appreciate about it, and that's why I kind of look for in my movies is something unique. Or what are you going to do differently, or just do something exciting? And I'm curious to see what Gaga's going to do. So I'm a fan of her as an actress. So.
Well, you know what? The inner conspiracy theorist in me is saying that is it possible that they're trying to sabotage this movie because of the controversy with not Heath Ledger, but Joaquin Phoenix and walking out of the last movie he was supposed to film? Like, wasn't he
I
supposed to
don't
like
know
do it
because
like
they haven't really like I've really haven't heard anything about that ever since. It kind of came and went,
okay?
like swept under the rug. Now I could see this movie not doing as well as the first one. I
Yeah.
think it'll still make money, but I feel like some people might not just even give it a chance, and that's gonna be a shame because I definitely think that this could be something really dope. And like I said, it might not be for you, might not be, but like
Mm-hmm.
until you see it, you won't know. So
Well, I'm a big Joaquin Phoenix fan, so I'll go just for the performance by itself, you know. So
right.
even because like me, like even if it's like a mid movie, if I see a really great performance, I'll appreciate that. Like for example, the front
Mm.
room, very mediocre movie, man, but god damn, the old lady killed it, and I'll watch it
Like it
again
can't
just to see her performance.
like it can't be as bad as the Blumhouse movies we have getting or like the MCU movies we've been getting.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's still a quality movie
Mm-hmm.
that we're seeing. So I'll have a review about that Monday, next Monday coming up. So
Same director too, right? Todd Phillips.
yeah, yep.
Okay.
And
Okay.
this is gonna be the finale. No three. He already confirmed he's not doing the third one.
Ah.
It's just a two-part thing. So I'm
Okay.
not mad at that. You don't need to you don't gotta milk it. You know what I'm saying? Because you still got the Batman's Joker and the
Right.
DCU Joker. We're gonna get a bunch of Jokers over the next like 10 years and stuff
So
like
what's the
that.
deal
So
with the second Batman? They started production on that yet, or what's going on with
they're
that?
they're filming next year. They're starting to film next year.
Okay,
So they'll have that out by 2026. I hope it comes out. I think that March date is good for the Batman like that.
mm-hmm.
Or just Warner Brothers in general because Doom came out that time as well. So
Right.
to kind of get ahead of the summer box office stuff, I think that's a good little placement. So hopefully they'll have it up by like spring 2026 or you know what I'm saying. So
Mm-hmm. Cool.
now to get into the main events, the final kind of stretch and all this, I appreciate people that have been popping up. If you're hitting the like button, you know what I'm saying, enjoying the show. Let me know your thoughts on all the things that we've talked about in the comments or in the live chat. So we got
Oh.
Kendrick performing at the Super Bowl, the whole Diddy situation, no Lil Wayne at the Super Bowl.
mm.
The Future dropping 3 albums in like 7 months, which is ridiculous. It's crazy. But really wanted to talk about start with like Future real quick. We could start with Future. Are you a fan of Future's music?
No,
Would you say? No?
no,
Like at all?
at all. I respect the hustle. 3 albums in a year. Shit. Last nigga did that was who? DMX, right?
DMX did too, I think. He did
Oh, he
too.
did too. Okay, he did
Yeah.
too. All right. Man, 3 albums in a year. That's impressive.
And people really like those 3 albums. You know, he had the two ones with Metro Boomin.
Mm.
That kind of set the whole president. We got like that out of that. You know, and then he dropped another one. We still don't trust you, and then he dropped this as mixtape Pluto, where it's just him, no features and stuff like that.
Nice. Damn.
Yeah, so you know, and it's like his subject matter doesn't really change, but I feel like it's just he knows his audience, and I think that's why his audience and other people really rock with his music because he's able
Right.
to do different things still sonically, even though his his subject matter is kind of like the same. It's just that's what people expect from him, and he delivers on that every time. And he's been
Yeah.
doing that, you know, for almost like 14 years now straight. So
Ooh.
hold on, give me 1 second. Clear my throat. So yeah, and like there was this whole conversation like who had a bigger impact on like who has a bigger impact on Atlanta, like Luda or Future, which I think that's an interesting argument. You can even throw Gucci in there because you know just on the as far as street artists goes and stuff like that.
You
And
know what?
I think Future has a pretty crazy presence because he has a bunch of people that definitely try to take his sound or his cadence.
Well, you know, I'm sticking with my guns. My favorite rapper from Atlanta is neither of those. My favorite rapper from Atlanta is no other than PT Pastor Troy. I feel like
Interesting.
that brother don't get the acknowledgement that he deserves. Like the fact that he had the balls to go after Master P and No Limit, you know, even though that almost ended very badly for him. But yeah,
Mm.
I fuck with PT, man. Vice Versa is probably one of the most illest like hip hop songs ever.
Yeah, Atlanta's got a lot of talent, man. They got a lot of talent
Yeah.
out there. It's very like I would say it's pretty diverse
Mm-hmm.
and stuff as far as just you have people that like from Andre to you know Jeezy, Gucci,
Mm-hmm.
Pastor Troy,
See, Tony know what I'm
Future.
talking about. You know, yes, sir. PT.
Yeah, but I just wanted to kind of highlight that just the fact that he's dropped three, and I think this will be his third number one this year. So like I think he went number one 3 times as well, if I'm not
Nice.
mistaken. But
No,
so you
that's
know,
that's impressive, man. 3 albums, like yeah, that's some beast mode shit right there.
and every like and he hasn't sold under 100K like first week
Mm,
consistently. You know,
okay,
so I think that's pretty impressive as well too.
yeah,
Um, like and that's why it's like a lot of people's like you could consider putting Future up there in the big three, or just like that conversation is, you know, one of the top artists and stuff, just off of you know work ethic and stuff like that. Which I can give it to him for that for sure. But I get it. His music's not gonna be for everybody for sure. But
I mean, well, shit, I ain't a fan, but I'll listen to Future over Lil Wayne. That says a lot.
that's kind of crazy though. That's kind of crazy though. Because me, I'm not the biggest Wayne fan, but like I acknowledge that like he can spit. Like I can definitely acknowledge that
Yeah,
he can spit. Um, but he's not as strong. And I feel like you know him, him showing off his work ethic is dope, but it also was to his detriment
right.
because when you drop so much like that, then it's just like then now it's just like at this point it's just like now you're kind of feeling like you gassed. He still has it, he's still witty and stuff, but he kind of suffers in other aspects like his live performing. We're going to talk about that. Is
Mm-hmm.
just not strong at all. Which brings me to Kendrick performing at the Super Bowl at New Orleans, and people being kind of upset that they didn't pick Wayne. You know, which it's like, why would they pick Wayne? And kind of couple things like, um, why would they pick Wayne, and why would you think that Kendrick wouldn't try to at least attempt to get Wayne on the stage? You know, because
Right.
when Wayne was about to retire, this nigga Kendrick jumped up and got drunk. Was just like reciting. So he's like, "No, you can't retire." And he's like, "I, we people need you. Like, can't retire yet. You know what I'm saying? Just keep going and just putting that battery in his back, pretty much. Just being supportive, pretty much. So you
I
have
mean,
people just being upset at Jay-Z, and you know what I'm saying. But
yeah.
there's plenty of people that have performing at New Orleans that weren't from there. So
Tony says the drug abuse got him forgetting his lyrics. Oh yeah, I heard that. So yeah, so he says that half the time he don't be knowing his rhymes, and the crowd has to help
it's
him.
bad.
You know, yeah. No, I mean, okay, I get it because okay, it's in New Orleans. That's his home or whatever. But right now, Kendrick is the guy. You know what I'm saying? And
I can agree with this.
this is show business. So I respect that. You know. But I mean, I get the backlash. Shows that's his home state, and he feels like he's entitled to perform there. But yo, it is what it is, man. Should cry a river,
And
build a bridge,
Kendrick's
over it.
had a monumental year, so why wouldn't they want to get the person that had the biggest year? You know what I'm saying,
Exactly.
to perform. And how long are usually Super Bowl performances?
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay, so that's a lot. Do you think he's gonna play Not Like Us? A lot of people think he will. A lot of people think he won't.
I
Is it really
mean,
necessary?
yeah, I mean that's the song right now. So there's gonna be a lot of white people there. So why not?
Yeah, and he always puts on a great performance. Like you ever see any of his other performances and stuff, it's like theatric and all
Right.
that shit, like all the bells and whistles. So it's gonna be exciting, like because most people are just gonna tune in just to see his performance, just to see if he's going to perform Not Like Us or some shit like that, and just how he's gonna go about it. And that's just such a crazy run, to go on that crazy run with
Mm-hmm.
Drake and just bodying his shit to doing the pop out concert. And then, he dropped another song not too long ago. And just like he's just knows what he's doing, just building off momentum. He's not hopping on social media. He's just keeping it music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But do you agree with Boosie? Because Boosie was saying that like niggas from New Orleans don't bump Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? They said
I just don't understand. Like now, like a lot of people like downplaying Kendrick. Like they'll say certain things like "Good Kid, Mad City" he had no impact or something like that. I'm just
Mhm.
like, what? Or just certain little certain like just kind of downplay like the stuff that he does, or say that he's only known for making moments. He doesn't, or just
Right.
saying he makes boring music or we don't know what he's talking about. It's just like it's stupid shit. I was like, bro, where is this all coming from? Because he just body Drake and just it's
Yeah.
just a lot of trying to like people having this like revisionist history or some shit like that. It's just very weird.
Well,
You know what I'm
they
saying?
try they trying to say he don't make I guess he was trying to say he don't make music that the streets really listen to. Kind of like that same argument where they say, okay, Eminem is like one of the greatest lyricists ever, but you'll never
Mhm.
hear anybody like blasting Eminem in a car or on the streets or whatever. Like you don't hear
What
niggas
which
say,
is
yo, you got that new Eminem
wh-
album,
which is crazy to say because like Kendrick has those records for street dudes.
Yeah.
He has a lot. He's like has a wide palette of different sounds and just different lanes. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
he got a Pulitzer Prize. That's fucking crazy. Like,
Yeah, I mean, nah,
like
dog.
how the fuck you get that?
I fuck with him. Look, I fuck with him over Wayne. Like it. So as you can tell, Purp, this conversation, I don't like Lil Wayne. I respect him. I respect his career, but I do not like that brother. Like ever since he was in the Cash Money days, man, he just always came across as like this arrogant little shit that smelled his own piss. You know what I mean? He just has like this arrogance about him that just rubs me wrong, man. And
Yeah, but
yeah, go ahead.
like you said, like what I respect about Wayne, he loves the shit. Like he loves rapping. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's like the most you could say. Like he loved rapping. Like if he could do that, obviously he probably wouldn't do it for free. But if he could do it for free, he probably would do it for free or some shit like that. But
And I,
you
and I
know,
don't and I don't know about you. I can't stand to hear him talk either. Okay, rapping
yeah,
wise, I don't like his rap flow. I feel like
him and
he doesn't
him and Vince sound the same. Him and Vince sound the same right now. So it's like
yeah,
in
he
that
talk he
documentary, I was like, man, they should have got raspy as hell.
dog he talks like his voice needs lotion. Like, bro, why you sound like you got a fucking fist in your
It's
mouth?
that it's that lean, man. That's an after effect. Like I'm glad that he like kind of I don't know what his personal life is. It seemed like he kind of falling back from all that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's good on him. Maybe if he would have done it sooner or never got into it in the first place, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's even acknowledged that, like, kind of blames himself, like, for not being able to perform at the Super Bowl just because of his past and stuff like that, just certain things he got into. So
Right. Well,
you know,
there's that controversy too when he had that interview and the lady asked him what he thought about Black Lives Matter. He's like, Black Lives Matter. What is that? I don't know what that is.
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But some people, like this one rapper, 504, predicts that Kendrick's gonna bring out Wayne to kind of squash the whole
I can
Drake
see
beef.
that.
But they're not gonna be cool though. Obviously, they're not gonna be
Yeah.
cool, but they're just gonna,
I think that'll be a
work.
dope moment, man. I think that if he does that, that'll be a dope moment because that'll just show the unity. You know what I'm saying? Like we need more unity now instead of all this back and forth petty shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that'll be
Because it
dope.
does. It's because in some cases, like I said, like if you've been following, like it's getting at least between fans, it's become corny. Because everybody's trying to make their own kind of thing, and some people just are just coping and just saying a bunch of just nonsense. It's just like downplaying the one artist and this, that, and the third. So we'll see, though. We'll see. I don't know what's going to end up happening, but it's going to be exciting to pretty much see, the Super Bowl and what's gonna be on the set list, what he's gonna do, and who's gonna pop up.
They need to have at least one New Orleans rapper on there, man. God damn it. I mean, bring out No Limit, Cash Money. Bring somebody from New Orleans out. You can't just have Kendrick there and have nobody from the home state. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like, I don't know if you've seen like Nicki being going at Jay-Z and just trying to like trash Jay-Z for picking Kendrick over Wayne and stuff. I was just like, bro, Jay-Z, if anything, Jay-Z got a lot of love for Wayne and
I was
stuff
about
like
to say,
that.
yeah,
Like,
Jay-Z fuck with Wayne. So what's she talking about?
he paid his taxes, like where Birdman wasn't trying to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Man, Nicki just in the field. That's how I know Wayne smashed it, man. I don't care what nobody say, man. For Nicki to get enough feelings like that when Wayne broke off a couple times. Word.
For sure. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had tonight. For tonight's show.
Oh yeah. You talking about the Diddler?
Oh yeah. Thank you. Jesus. Okay, I almost forgot.
You missed the Diddler.
Yeah, we had to talk about Diddy before we get off. Man, watching. I didn't even know this. Stumbled upon my For You page. I stumbled upon this on my For You page on TikTok. And I saw like there's clips of Felice Johnson talking about this whole Diddy shit. I was fucking crying, bro. I was fucking crying, bro, because he be making sound effects. He's like, it's like hot water grease with he got 2 bottles of baby oil. I was like, bro, the comments is like, bro, you're free. You don't gotta, you know what I'm saying? He's like,
yeah,
because that motherfucker, he's still like a exactly how you would picture him in like the Boondocks. He's like, I like booty. Like that's how he is. He's still like that. But his whole commentary on this whole Diddy shit was funny. Like that shit had me dying.
Right.
But what is your thoughts on this whole Diddy situation?
Man, this is just a case of the chickens coming home to roost, man. Everything you do in the dark comes to light. And Diddy thought he was untouchable. I think he got a little arrogant because if he was smart, he would have did like Russell Simmons and fled the country. But I guess he thought that they would never get him. But at the same time, this nigga got enough receipts to where I think he knew because they showed a clip from an interview he did from a while ago where he predicted like the ramifications of his parties. Like, yeah, that they're probably gonna arrest me, whatever. But look, I'm just trying to have fun. So I think he always had a contingency plan of, okay, if I get caught, I'm bringing other people with me. So right now, Jay-Z, all them niggas are sweating. Which Usher, you know what I'm saying, yo? So
who will be the next one to pop up? Like if he does like say somebody like, or if he does just keep quiet, I don't know.
Well, unless he gets assassinated before he can say anything, it could be an Epstein situation.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
that'd be
right.
crazy. That'd just be crazy. Like I don't really see like Puff being the one to be like suicidal though. Like I don't see him.
Well,
I don't know.
he almost committed suicide years ago when this
Right.
is back when he was on Uptown, where he was under Andre
Okay.
Harrell. He threw a college concert, and some college kids got killed, and he went to a deep depression where he said he was going to commit suicide. And I want to say it was Mary J. Blige that like kind of brought him back. You know what I mean, and talked him off
Oh,
the ledge.
Mary's catching fire too. And, saying people going into Mary. So yeah,
Yeah,
Mo and Nate
Mary.
Tejada better chill. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
Yeah,
quiet. Though. Like what I'm saying. It's just so crazy how like Cat Williams really just set the tone for
right.
what we're about to see. Like 9 months later, like so much shit has happened.
Right. Yeah, well, and even Jamie Foxx, what I'm saying right now, Jamie Foxx name is being thrown out because, he always talked about how him and Diddy would compete to who could throw the freakiest parties. And, and Jamie Foxx, he would throw parties where niggas was playing basketball butt ass naked. You know what I'm saying? So,
What up, Chief Wildfire? Shout out to
yeah.
all the new people I'm seeing popping up in the chat. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
Jennifer
I'm about to see
Lopez,
some new people.
Jennifer Lopez,
Hmm.
everybody getting pressed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look,
man, it's gonna be
Jamie.
interesting. I think as time goes on, I think it's just gonna be continuing into 2025. I think it's gonna be even crazier.
Right. Right. But I know Russell Simmons is like, brother, you should have did what I did. You could have been
All right,
Belize doing yoga. You know what I'm saying? But
he might
nah.
be he might end up slipping up at some point too. They might end up grabbing him eventually, but who knows?
I mean, if he's out of the
Um,
country, nah, that's how like that. That's how your boy Rosemary Baby directed. That's how he got out of that shit. He fled the country.
yeah. Also, who was the other one? Woody Allen. Is it
Yep,
Woody Allen?
Woody Allen. Yep.
Yeah, he
Yep.
dipped
That,
and
that's
shit
why
too.
that,
It was
that's
just
that's why they don't want to give him bail because they know as soon as they post bail, he gets out. They don't call him the diddler for nothing. He's gonna vanish.
but but it but if Puff does come out and confess everything, does that give people like does that make people look at him in a different light, or is it the damage was already done? It doesn't really matter. It's a good thought, but it's you still did what you did type of
Yeah, no, he's done. His reputation is forever tarnished. There's no coming back from this. So whatever money he has saved up, I hope it's nothing to live off of because he's not going to make a dime off of anybody else. Ain't no sponsor ever going to touch him. He's finished.
mm,
He's done. And matter of fact, I'm mad at the nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm personally mad at Diddy because that whole Big Papa shit with the fucking trans. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? That fucked me up because dog, like how many people watched that Big Papa video and said, man, that bitch finer than a motherfucker, man. And it was a dude. You know what I'm saying? And it
Yeah.
was a dude the whole time, man. Fuck Diddy, man.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like I remember that going on, but it's crazy to go show you that like people been talking about this for
Yeah.
fucking years,
Yeah.
and people pass it off like, oh, they're being conspiracy theorists. So, like whether it comes to like Jack War, right, or like
Mm-hmm.
or Gene, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, like his
Gene
security
Deal.
guard,
Gene Deal. Yeah.
yeah, Gene Deal,
Shit, even Purp, even Tupac. We owe Tupac an apology because I owe Tupac an apology because I was one of the ignorant ones that said, no, he would have set Pac up. The whole Quad Studio thing. I'm like,
mm-hmm.
no, I said Diddy would have set Pac up. I said Diddy and Big, they love Pac. But Pac was so passionate about it, like he just knew you couldn't tell him nothing. He just knew that was a
Something
setup.
was up.
Something
Yeah,
was
something
up.
was up. Something
Yeah,
was fishy, and now a lot of things are gonna come out and whatnot. So a
right.
lot of things are gonna come out. So that's it's gonna be interesting, and and he's probably gonna get a lifetime ban from using Johnson and Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Just
Oh, well,
how
did
much?
you see? You saw his lawyer state. His lawyer put a statement out today.
Nah, what did it say?
He said the whole baby, and this I had to look up. Purpose serious. He said that the whole baby oil thing. He said that's nothing. He said Diddy just like to order things in bulk. That's all he said. He was like he ordered shit in bulk. That's what's up with the baby oil.
That's a lot of bulk, man.
That's a lot of bulk. Like,
Oh man, there ain't no
like
way you go out
that's
the
the
house.
best. That's the best you can come up with. Oh, he just likes to buy stuff
Ain't,
in
ain't,
bulk.
ain't no way you come out the house using one bottle of baby oil and shit like for the
Shit.
day and shit.
Not even bodybuilders use that much goddamn baby oil. You know, them niggas stay baby oiled up. You know.
Yeah, Kim Porter.
Yeah.
Oh, and people forget Kid Cudi got his fucking car got blown the fuck up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
shit's crazy. Like,
Yeah. What about so even the whole Jamie Foxx, health scare? Remember, people back then were saying Diddy has something to do with that, so-called health scare that he said happened, which we still don't know what that health scare was.
yeah, that was weird. A lot
Yeah.
of weird shit. A lot of weird shit. I think
Mm.
you're gonna start seeing a lot of people disappear, or you're
Yeah.
just not gonna hear from them.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna just get real silent.
Damn.
Man, it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. Um, people think the Young Thug trial is gonna be crazy. This Diddy trial is about to be a fucking movie.
About to be crazy, you know what I'm saying? And bro, in the comments to a lot of these reels be hilarious, man. Because I saw I was watching one reel, they were talking about Diddy, right? And I was reading the comments, and somebody said they was like, you know what, y'all shouldn't celebrate the downfall of a black man. As black people, we don't need to do that. And somebody came right behind him and replied and said, nah, fuck that. Tell me all Diddy did was fuck over black people. So why should we feel
Hmm.
bad for him? You know, he never fucked nobody white. It
And
was
like, Umar talking about like, where's the evidence and all this trying like,
yeah, yeah,
there's
yeah.
definitely that's just so weird to fucking say, bro. It's just like, did you not see like, what
And I
went
like and
down?
I like Umar for the most part, but some things that brother be saying, I'm like, brother, okay, just fall back on that, man. Fall
Yeah, like just shut up for once. Like,
back.
if you ain't got nothing to do with the shit, like don't say, you know what I'm saying? Don't say nothing. We
Right,
want to hear from the
right,
people that know what went down and stuff, and like we want to see
exactly.
how this shit gonna play out. You know what I'm saying?
We say everyone Diddy has a tape on is now controlled by the government. It's up. Mm. Whew.
Yeah, it's gonna be spooky, and just like, and you see all these record execs like stepping down and stuff like that because they were probably at them Diddy parties, man. And
Yeah.
they probably got because you never know like how much the feds know about you, bro, until you know what
Hmm.
I'm saying. They got you, you know.
Yeah. 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 So
So
like just like Epstein, man, that whole Epstein list, you know what I'm saying? Diddy got a list just like it and receipts.
yeah, we
Yep.
need to see those. We need to see those. He needs to name names. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Name names, and then like and I feel like that's what a lot of these industries needs. He just needs to clean all these people out because people put all this focus on Diddy and thinking he's this was all learned behavior, so it's like it comes from somewhere else, and
Hmm.
and Diddy's just a fall dude to the bigger overall
Right.
problem and stuff like that. That all these record execs and people above them and who they're connected to and stuff like, and who are
Hmm.
they trafficking and stuff like, who's all a part of that? Like it probably goes way deeper than people think, and
Oh yeah.
it just be overwhelming for a lot of people to kind of get that, but it needs to happen. And I think as the years go on, more and more people are just gonna get exposed and stuff like that. So
Hmm. So do you think in the big picture, does this help the music industry as far as artists and kind of like what Prince was fighting for the whole time about artists getting their masters and having
mhm.
creative and plus financial freedom within the music industry? Does this help or does this hurt the music
I
industry?
think it does help. I think it helps because now it's just like everything needs a reset. Everything needs a reset.
Hmm.
Reset this. Get some actual people that actually care about artist development and actually care about the music
Right.
and aren't going to abuse their power and actually help the artist succeed. And I know 50 said this a while ago, like, you don't really even need a fucking manager. You know what I'm saying? Because, like,
Yeah.
you could do everything that you want on social media and just do your own tours, set
Right.
up your own venues. And, it might cost you more, but, at the end, it'll probably pay off. You don't have to sign your life away to a corporation or these record labels that don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah, well, even the deals that they get, man, like because like, well, back in the days, like when they sign an artist, they would charge the artist for everything. So like, okay, they'll give them in advance, but studio time, touring, outfits, everything, they deduct all that shit, and by the end, they get like what, like a $5 check.
Yeah, you left with nothing. So many
You
people
left
that
with
have
nothing.
just
Yeah.
just great example. Look at Diddy, like
Hmm.
probably had a shit ton of money. Now he's probably gonna die broke.
Well, and that's why Big, because I don't know if you know, but before Big died, he was gonna go the Diddy route where he was gonna start his own label and stuff. And that's why the conspiracy is that Diddy had Big killed because Big was like, that was his main guy, and Big was about to branch off and do his own thing because he wasn't getting paid with Diddy like that. He was trying to make
Yeah,
that
he's like, nah.
he was trying to make that CEO money.
Yeah, it's like I can't let go of my cash cow,
Yeah, and
which is crazy.
who benefited from Biggie's death the most? Puff, because Puff blew up. He blew up after Biggie died.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And just milking his music, milking many other talented artists, just
yeah. G
sucking
Dep,
the life out of them.
man. Look at the track. Look, you had G Dep, Black Rob, Craig Mack, Big. Who else?
You had the band,
The band. 702.
but Danity came, the
Dan,
girl group
yep,
Day
Danny King.
26.
Screwed everybody.
Now,
I mean,
like where are they now? Like non-existent, like pretty much, like as far as just
yeah. Yeah, the
they
Locks.
kind of just disappeared.
Remember, people forget he signed the Locks for a minute. The Locks had a deal with Diddy, and I don't know if you heard that recording when they was on the radio arguing. They was telling they was like they aired him out live how he robbed them, and he was like, "Man, I ain't
Yeah,
never robbed nobody, man. Yo, come to the office, man. Come to the office. We can talk
yeah, I
about
seen that.
it."
Yeah, that's just crazy, man. And it's
Yeah.
like, and I'm curious to see like who's gonna be next. If it is gonna be Jay-Z, it's already gonna topple. But to see if Jay-Z or Beyonce are even involved in any type of scandal, some shit, that's just the whole industry is gonna just
But see, the thing
topple.
about it though, Jay-Z has too many powerful connects though, man. Jay-Z got too much white people backing him. So
Mhm.
I think Jay. Not saying anybody can get got, but I think Jay is plugged into like a whole different type of network where,
Illuminati.
yeah, you know what I mean. So I
That's very true.
think Jay's okay.
He's a made man.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. But
He's Billy Bats. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, we're going to just wait for a little bit more updates. But we're just gonna enjoy the memes because like on TikTok they have this filter where Diddy pops up behind you and shit. This shit's funny as hell.
Well, shit, I
Just
wonder.
crazy.
I wonder if Khaled's gonna. Because I know him and Khaled was tight too. So I wonder if Khaled's gonna be named as some shit.
Probably, I would be surprised.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised. Usher definitely is on the chopping block. Neo probably on the chopping block. Anybody that was just around Puff like a lot is on that
Right.
chopping block. And we'll have to
Man.
wait to see what 50's going to do with this documentary.
Yeah. Oh, I know. He can't wait. I know he can't wait.
That's going to be probably like their most watched documentary.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because with this Vince McMahon documentary, I think a lot of people thought it was going to be a hit piece, and it's not. Because I watched the whole thing. It's not a hit piece at all.
Yeah,
I
because they even
mean,
said in the first episode, like, this is all before the allegation shit. So.
right. Right. So yeah, so they saved the allegation stuff to the end, but they just showed just that, the allegations, and that's all. So yeah, nah. If you're going to the Mr. McMahon doc expecting, all the dirty little secrets and the behind the scene, nah, you're not gonna get that. You're just gonna get straight up how he built the WWE, accusations and stuff like that. But you're not gonna get no dirt, no tea as they call it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Which I can't wait to go get off stream and check out the rest of that series and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, any last words Anything? Last thoughts about the whole Diddy stuff?
Nah. Listen, I dollar till you reap what you sow.
Yeah, we're just going to wait for more information. It's definitely going to be interesting. Let me know how you guys feel about Kendrick in the Super Bowl. Just your thoughts on that. Just everything that we talked about up to this point. Like I said, if you're checking this live, I appreciate everybody in the live chat checking this out. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're checking out the replay, hit the like button. I'm just going to keep saying that until you hit the like button. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So this was a dope episode. That's pretty much all I wanted to really cover. I will have another episode of the Hard Never Dies podcast this Saturday. So you get 2 streams this week. And hopefully I'll see Rashad back there. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to be talking about Black culture and horror. So that's going to be an interesting theme. And the next few episodes are going to be really dope. The next episode for the Purp show, though, won't be until next month at some point. So I appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. This was a good show, solid show. Until next time, see you in the next one.
Peace.